Hey, so I'm hoping that we are live right now. We've just got a few technical difficulties, but I think we are getting there. Yes, it looks like it. Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad to be joining you this evening because we've got a great topic to be working with, and it's how to really deeply nourish your energy system. All right, let's wait for a few more seconds until more of you come on. Thank you for your patience with getting everything up and on tonight. Took us a couple of minutes. There was a little glitch. Hi, Carol. Hi, Minnie Molly. So great to see you guys coming on and so many more of you. Wonderful. I really hope that you have a drink with you. I mean, I could say it every single time. Maybe I do say it every time, but being hydrated is essential for every part of your energy system. Absolutely everything in your physiology has energy running through it and governing it. And that energy only moves when you've got good hydration in your system. So it's the start point, the middle point, and the end point of everything. So I've got a big glass of water with me and also, of course, a cup of tea. Great. Hi, Laura and Josephine. Lovely to see so many of you, and Katie, Claire, Helena. Cool. It's so awesome to see so many. Hi, Ava. Glad to have found you. Yes, I'm really glad that I was able to figure out my computer tonight. It gave me all kinds of awesome challenges. Brilliant. Vicky, Sarah, Sylvie. Wonderful. So glad that we are all here tonight because I want to talk about your kidney energy. And there's many threads to why it's important right now. So I'm going to dive in and get started here. Because when we think about the kidney energy, it's the very deepest part of your organ system. There are parts of your energy system that are deeper. If we think about the real core, what we might call the soul energy, then that's certainly deeper than the meridian system or the organ system. But within that organ system, your kidney energy is a fundamental source energy for the rest of your body. So you think of those times when you felt wiped out, maybe when you've experienced illness or just really sustained stress. All of those experiences would have really hit your kidney energy field. And so when kidney begins to feel fragile or vulnerable, then you feel fragile and vulnerable. You feel like, well, it can be in many different ways. Sometimes you feel like the rug's just literally being pulled from beneath your feet. So you no longer have that stable ground that you're working with anymore. Sometimes you just feel like it's immense effort to get through your day. Maybe you wake up tired, or midway through your day, say 3 o'clock is a very common time for people. 3 o'clock, you just feel totally wiped out and you don't really recover that energy. Maybe around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, you recover it, which is absolutely the worst way for actually rebalancing your whole health. Because if you're someone whose kidney, your vital life force energy begins to decline at about 3 o'clock, which would be very normal for a lot of people, then if you get that second wind come 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, it means you're being fueled by adrenaline. And of course, if there's adrenaline in your system, then there aren't your beautiful sleep hormones. So for those of you who experience that kind of roller coaster ride with kidney, then I'm really hoping that the techniques that we're going to be looking at in this class are going to go a long way to really stabilizing it. It's also really important right now because every month is governed by a meridian system, and July is governed by kidney. So it means that kidney is your biggest strength right now, unless it's not. And if it's not, it means that kidney is your biggest vulnerability. It's where you're amazing. There are very many different layers of protection, vitality, and defense within your auric system, within your entire body system, actually. So your immune system is just one part of this multi-layered place of amazingly wise and complex and intricate defense systems in order to keep you strong, to keep you healthy, to keep you able to cruise through your day, through your life, no matter what's going on. Now, when you have a meridian of the month, it plays a really big part in maintaining the balance of that defense system. So when we have something as fundamental as kidney taking its place as meridian of the month in your body system, this isn't something I'm making up as a cool, let's choose kidney for July, but in July, your kidney system kind of takes this governance role within your meridian system. So when that happens, if your kidney system is compromised, it means that your entire defensive or protective system in your body is compromised. That's not a cool place to be. That's not a place that you feel you can experience your vitality or your resiliency from, because you know that there is weakness and therefore vulnerability right there. So that's why this topic is coming up now. And actually next week I have an online class, a 90-minute live webinar, really exploring kidney in even further depth, because it's so important at this time. So let's think about some of the reasons why it's so important. Right now we're in, well, I'm looking out the window, I'm in a huge massive black rain cloud, and no doubt going to be a lot more rain this evening, and we've already had a lot today. But wherever you are, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it means that we are in summer, which means that our big yang system, our big solar system, is primed to receive a lot of juiciness, a lot of energy that actually your body system holds in reserve, and it holds it in amazing places, really profound energy centers in the body. One of the big ones for solar energy is the lower dantian, or the lower cauldron, which sits all in your lower abdominal area. And ideally at this time of year, it's getting really stoked. It's kind of holding on to the fieriness of the solar energy, so that as we move into autumn, as we come into winter, that your system is still sourced with that beautiful fiery energy, so that at all points you have the balance of the fieriness and the wateriness, the big sun and the deep cool of winter. All of your energy, all of life is this beautiful dance between these two aspects, which of course we might know as the yin and the yang. So kidney is your deepest yin in your system. Right now we're in the brightest yang, and it needs to be in balance, so that as you move forward into autumn, forward into winter, you can access your own vitality. You can access your own life force. I want to hear from you in the comments if you are someone who really just crashes in the winter, or that you know that, oh my goodness, come autumn time, you begin to feel everything closing in on you, because that big solar energy in your system isn't balancing things out. It's not kind of holding the field anymore. Or maybe you work completely the opposite, whereas this time of year has the potential to really burn you up. That fieriness in your system actually goes a little bit rampant, and you can't hold the balance, the flow, the depth. And maybe for you, you love the winter for its quiet times. Whether you're one of either of those ways, it indicates that balance in your body system isn't quite in its flow, isn't quite in alignment, and that's going to leave you vulnerable, where your protective system really can be breached in that place of vulnerability. All right, let me have a drink. All right, let's have a look, see if there's any questions coming in. Yeah, there are, but I'm going to skip them a minute while I keep talking, because I want to get some really good foundational information in first. So when we're working with this flow and balance, then what becomes important now is that we bring our solar systems, if we want to think of it like that. You really are solar powered. I mean, here in Cornwall, it's been interesting, since the coronavirus. I was out and about in the local town yesterday, and I see that people are holding a lot less light in their system. And a lot of that is to do with fear. You know, we're in such uncertain times. Not unprecedented, because humanity has hit plagues and terrible viruses many, many, many times, but no one alive right now has been working with this level of societal change because of a virus. And so it's very uncertain, and that uncertainty, that fear, really hits the kidney system. The minute we have fear in the body system, it's going to move quite deeply. No matter what month we're talking about here, it's going to move quite deeply into the kidney energy. And so when it's there, if that kidney energy is kind of running the show at the moment, and fear is now hardwired through your system, then of course it's going to close down all of your expansiveness, all of that big solar brightness and lightness, and the kind of easy resiliency, the spontaneity, joy. All of those much more yang aspects in the body are going to be harder for you to access when that kidney energy is encouraging restriction, constriction, and fear instead. So when I was out and about yesterday, what I saw is that a lot of people are kind of more in this enclosed protective shell, but there's a brittleness to it. And that brittleness means that neither is that big solar energy charging you up, nor are you really in that depth and flow in yourself. So you can see why I wanted to talk a lot, because there's a lot of themes that are going on right now with this kidney energy. So let's think about some ways that you can really enhance it, because that's the beauty about energy, yeah? You at any point can make those shifts. If you feel right now like you're someone that has fear in their system, whose system is in any way kind of restricted or closed, if you don't feel filled with that juiciness that you would expect to feel in the summer, that kind of easy lift in every part of yourself, if you don't feel like that, then you can change that. You can work with, especially kidney in this situation, to bring more flow in. You can always think of the flow in your system and ask yourself, is it in its fullness? And if it's not, then bring in techniques to actually bring about some changes. So let's think of ways that we can really affect kidney. So the one that I want to start off with is a way to activate more of that solar energy in your system. Okay, so we can do it sitting down or standing up. And you're going to take your right hand and you're going to pop your palm up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you're sitting right now. So from here, place one hand on your abdomen, anywhere that feels good. One hand pointing up to the ceiling. And let's just take a lovely, relaxing breath here. Let's take one more, really inviting that breath, that energy to move through your lungs and through your blood into every cell, every part of you that might feel some tension, some tiredness. And to all of the parts of you that feel awesome as well. Invite that fresh energy in to empower and nurture those nourished parts of yourself as well. Now we're going to take the hand that's your right hand and you're pointing it up, and you're going to move it forward over to the left side of the body, and you're going to continue in that circle so that your hand comes close to the body, and then you'll be back on the right side again. You're going to come forward, so you're going to end up making a circle from the right side of the body forward back to the body, and you're going to keep that other hand on your abdomen. Now I'm holding it up for the sake of the camera, but you could have your hand even down on your lap. Just keep that same movement of the right hand going from the right side of the body forward and around in a big circle. Now what we're doing here is we're activating the yang energy that comes into your body system, into that beautiful 7th chakra on your head, down into the 6th, the 5th, so it moves all the way down into the place where your hand is on your abdomen. And you're just going to keep moving that hand around. And it might help for you to just visualize the fact that you're encouraging that movement. If you want to switch hands at any time, you certainly can, but you're going to keep exactly the same movement. So you're always going to be going in this direction from the right of the body around to the left. Feels easier for me with my left hand right now, so I'll keep it here. And this is a beautiful exercise to do whenever you're feeling tired, whenever you feel like you need more strength or resiliency or juice in your system. It's a gorgeous one to do when you're in big sun. You'll feel your whole body light up because literally you're helping your system receive that beautiful solar energy. It's also very grounding when you do this exercise because your energy fields are coming down, really moving through the whole body system. It's very stabilizing. It's a little bit funny for me because I'm sitting on a big bouncy ball, so as I'm doing this, I'm also a little bit wobbly. One of the places it really brings, you keep doing it, I'm going to keep talking, and one of the places it brings a lot of movement into is the throat. It begins to activate all of the different flows in your throat so that actually the balance of yin and yang through that throat system becomes more aligned, more in tune, and it does that for all of your chakras as well. Such a beautiful way to work. All right, let me see if there's any questions about that. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. There's a few questions coming in, but I think as I keep talking, then I'm going to cover a lot of them. How much have I got? Yeah, another 10 minutes. All right, so that's one really important way. And you'll find that when you work with that, so it's not a direct way of working with kidney, is it? But it's a very powerful indirect way. That solar energy, that yang energy comes into your system and it moves in deep. And from that place, it nurtures kidney. You know, we always have two ways of working with our body systems, yeah? We're working in life, in fact. We can look for the strengths and support the strengths, or we can look for the weaknesses and try and track and resolve the weaknesses. Both ways of working have great value. Only one way of working doesn't. So what we've just done is we've looked for the strength. We're inviting more strength in the system because your whole energy system, your entire body knows how to be healthy. And that's a really, really important fact. You aren't broken. No matter what you are dealing with, you're not broken. It's simply that your energy system that knows how to move in its health, in its alignment, can't find its way into that alignment. So when you work to really bring in a big nourishing system, it comes in all kind of deep levels that maybe you could never identify or never track. It begins to connect everything up together. And from that place of wholeness in the depth of your system, all of those symptoms shift. So really keep that in mind when you're working with energy. It's great to kind of know the symptoms, but what you're looking for is the place that goes deeper than the symptoms, the place that inspires remembering and change at a deeper level. So that way of working is a beautiful way. The other way, what else did I want to make sure I give you information about? All right. So the other way that I want you to really consider is if you look at the collarbone, and then if you come down into, if you take your fingers to the very edge of the collarbone and you come straight down the body, you'll find after one divot of the rib, you come into a place that is the end point of the kidney meridian. And it's lovely here. You can just give that area a massage. If you're already maybe doing the daily energy routine, this might be the place that you would be tapping to generate energy or to call up the energy that you have in your kidneys. But this is a beautiful place to massage. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is take your finger and thumb and put it in those two places. So give it a little massage first, wake it up, get it nice and active, and then put your finger and thumb in those two places. Now, I should have got myself a more stable chair. With this other, I want you to come to the place. All right, so we've got the foot, we've got the curve of the ball of the foot, and right there, down from the first and second toe, we have the start point of the kidney meridian. And maybe when you're on the floor or a more solid place in a wobbly ball, you're going to hold with one finger that, and I would advise it to be your middle finger, yeah? Hold that point on the bottom of the foot and hold both points just in the chest here. So I'm going to move it so you know where I am on my foot, and we're coming in here. And literally, you can hold them both with a little bit of pressure at first probably, or you can pulse them. My favourite way is to pulse. So that means I'm going to press into the point on the foot as I just literally have my fingers resting on the skin on my chest. And then I press in on the chest as I relax the place on my foot. So I'm just resting my fingers on there. And as I breathe in and out, or in whatever flow feels good to you, might be linked to the beating of your heart, might be just a natural rhythm that you have in your body system. This is a beautiful way to not just work with the energy that you already have in kidney, but to actually call it from the depth of the kidney system so that you get a much stronger flow moving through these points. Once you've done it for a little while, maybe a minute or 2 minutes on one side, you're going to switch over. So you keep your fingers in exactly the same place, but you switch your feet over so that you're working both of these beautiful kidney channels. Fabulous. And I would really advise you to be doing both of those exercises. So work to really call in that powerful yang energy first, comes down into the body system, begins to juice your system, and then get into the kidneys by working with the beginning and end points of that kidney meridian. Just make sure you're on a nice, sit on the bed and do it, or sit on the floor, something that's nice and stable. All right, brilliant. Let's have a look at some questions that are coming in. Katie, you say you feel a lot more grounded after bringing down some yang. I know, it's amazing. It's an amazing way to just kind of hold the body stronger. And Naomi, you're saying when you're feeling very tired, what are easy ways to work with kidney that take very little effort, such as when you're lying in bed or watching TV? I would really suggest that, if it's accessible to you, do exactly what I showed you as far as the bottom of the foot and these points. If it's not, do a pulsing with these 2 points. so that you can be lying there and just with whatever pressure feels good to you. You're going to work by pressing the left one, sort of relaxing the right one, pressing the right, relax the left. So you just work out your rhythm here as you move. That feels really great. Actually, because we've already activated, or in my system, I've already activated that kidney point down in my feet. When I do this in this pulsing, I feel like a beautiful surge of energy moving through the whole system. Nice. Let's have a look at the other questions. Yeah, some of you, Josephine, you're saying that you feel very tender there, totally normal. So just be a bit more gentle. Anytime you're working with your body, don't accept any pain. Yeah, you note the tenderness, you be a bit more gentle, and you just work wherever your system is showing up. So you might find that you're actually putting very little pressure in this, and it's more like a gentle pulse in and out, like you're just encouraging that energy there to balance. So tenderness always means that the points are speaking to you, and it normally means that they need more balancing. But we don't do that by going in deep and hard into points. Yeah, it's just a way of being in communication with your exquisite energy system. All right, Sarah, you're asking a big question about how do you protect yourself from frequent urinary infections, with this month being the kidney meridian of the month. So both of the exercises I just showed will help. Just trying to think what I've got there on my YouTube channel. That would be really good. Go and look at bladder and kidney exercises. There's a lot there. There's at least 8 or 10 different ones. One thing I would say is that generally when there is something like a bladder infection in the system, it's to do with the nervous system. Yeah. It's the way the nervous system is picking up something and moving it through bladder. So it can be quite complex. At the same time, it's about kind of understanding the pieces of the puzzle that is your system. So groundedness is really huge. Lots of blogs out there that I've got on being grounded and ways to help that. But you got to find what really, really grounds you. The bladder system moves down the back of the body from the head and then out through the little toe, and then energetically it looks like an amazing, almost like a copper rod kind of energy that comes from the little toe and really, really anchors you into the ground. And through that anchoring, a lot of excess electrical energy in your body is dropped into the earth. So it holds you really kind of strong and safe. It keeps your nervous system in a place that it can be gracefully responsive rather than really reactive. And usually when people are working with bladder infections, then that has been lost, whether it's lost because of it or whether there was something further down your path that prevented that. But that amazing electrical grounding system gets really compromised. So instead, when you're in a cycle of bladder infections, then what happens is that it begins to loop and the whole system holds this real electrical charge. So very best way is grounding, grounding, and more grounding. On top of that, there is a kidney point, and it's a beautiful, beautiful point that's just behind the ankle. I wasn't anticipating showing quite so much with the feet. Let me see, what can you see? So all around here, the place between, so there's the ankle bone, there's the point of my heel, this whole place behind, that's also another wonderful area to really stimulate, rub, activate, because there's a lot of different kidney points there that hold, some that hold real powerful reserves of energy for the kidney, but actually that part of the heel is an interface point between lots to do with your nervous system, your kidney system, and your natural healing radiance in the body. So working that place can be really great. All right, I know we've gone a couple of minutes extra, but we didn't start until 4 minutes past. So we're going to have a look at a couple more questions. All right. Brenda, you're asking, do these exercises work with extreme fatigue? And absolutely. Extreme fatigue, and I noticed there's some questions there about chronic fatigue syndrome as well. Extreme fatigue has, well, it has 100% to do with the state of your adrenal health. And adrenal health and kidney health are very intimately linked. The adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. So when there's been a lot of adrenal activity, then the kidneys is like, think of the adrenal glands as amazing electrical fires and your kidneys as these deep pools of water. And when you've had a lot of electrical activity, you've put out, you've really kind of stopped all of that beautiful flow of essential life force, essential juice in your system. So you've then got a division between adrenal health or imbalance and kidney health. So the exercises we've talked about here, absolutely beautiful to begin to restore the balance. I'd say that you also look at the website. There's videos and blogs of how to help your adrenal health. Super, super important. And together, that two-pronged approach to adrenal health and kidney health can work wonders with long-term illness or chronic fatigue. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else that's coming in? Lots of Katie, totally, I agree. We're never ever going to follow the school of thought that, what is the saying? More pain, more gain, or something like that. No way, not when it comes to your energy systems. You hurt yourself and your fight, flight, freeze kicks in from that second, or even before that second, because by the time you realize it's kicked in, it's already been very strong in your system and sent a cascade of information through your energy systems and your chemical and hormonal systems to say, protective defenses up. And at that point, you've lost all of the flow and subtlety of being in relationship with your own exquisite healing energy. Yeah, you really can't have the amazing healing energy and the fight, flight, freeze in your system at the same time. So always respecting your own body, your amazing, precious body that gives you the ability to experience life. I think if we can bring compassion to ourselves, compassion and love and awe and respect to our own bodies, then that's a real big medicine for kidney as well. All right. Oh, I just see that one last question. Trina, you're awesome. Awesome question. Oh, I'm going to answer this. If you need to go, go, but I want to answer this one. So Trina, you're asking about coronavirus and does it affect the kidneys? Oh my goodness, does it affect the kidneys? Absolutely massively. Now, Trina, I really hope that you are working with the coronavirus recovery course that I put together. It's a free course. You can find it on my website. It's a 9-day course, but keep repeating it and pull out the exercises that really make a difference for you. It's fascinating the way that coronavirus moves in the body system. But one thing I've seen again and again and again is that it goes and it tucks inside the kidney energy. I don't know whether it does physiologically, I'm not even interested in that, but energetically, that's where it really settles in deep. So I'm sure, Katrina, you're experiencing those times when actually you feel okay for a couple of hours or maybe even a couple of days, and then wham, you crash down again, literally that feeling of the rug being pulled out from under your feet, and it's horrible, and it probably has a lot of pain. It's got a lot of destabilizing. I experienced a lot of that myself. I mean, I was so incredibly grateful for having the ability to work with my own energy system, because that tail of coronavirus. If you're someone who experiences, some people haven't, but a huge amount of people are, and it's kind of a bit of it's gone very silent now, hasn't it? So the exercises I shared in this class really bring them into, I would be doing, well, I was doing kidney rejuvenating work several times a day. It's not enough to just, give a little rub of this twice a day and expect it to be actually working with helping your body after coronavirus really shift this profound settling and disturbance of kidney energy. So several times a day, maybe even 2 or 3 times an hour for the times that you're awake. And it doesn't have to be big. If you can just come in and one of the ways, this is something slightly different, but come back into those points. So finger and thumb, activate them a little bit and then keep them there. And then your finger and thumb just underneath the chin. So you're almost, if you feel into that sort of line of the chin, right in the center, there's a little divot. And if you feel underneath, right at the point of the jaw, again, there's a little divot. And when you work with these two, and you can't see very well, but you know where I am, these points and then here, when you just tuck in and really like tuck your elbows into your body, just bring everything in as energetically strong and small as it can go, because your system doesn't have a lot of juice to carry much right now. Your body is working amazingly hard at trying to reestablish its flow and vitality in this real post-viral fatigue. So come in, tuck everything in here, tuck your chin, just relax. You can be lying down, sitting, whatever, and just hold them. And you might hold this, Trina, for like 20 minutes. It begins to bring the electrical force of the body back into alignment, and from there it then begins to move it from the central core into different systems, and kidney will be one of the first ones that it goes to. So it's not a quickie. The other ones are quickies, yeah, go and do those quick nourishing exercises, but this is a really deep way to begin to help the electrical energy of the body connect where it can connect, and bring much more healing. There's a few other things I want to say about kidney, and actually I'm getting ready to do some more filming just to put out a couple more techniques for those of you who are working with coronavirus recovery, because it's really, I went through it myself, and I feel for every person who's going through it, because it is a kicker. It comes in and it takes a really deep hold. And even once I believe the virus is gone, the system still has a lot of repairing to do. So kidney energy, essential. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to Jen and also to Naomi for helping me field the questions amidst everything else. It's really amazing to be part of a great team that's enabling us to get to you and share as much information as we can. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want more information on kidney, then remember that class next week. It's not yet up on my website, but it will be tomorrow. And it's looking at how to work with kidney to dissolve fear, because that's another really massive place that's prevalent right now. All right, much love. I wish you and your kidneys every joy this summer. Bye-bye.